Hey folks, we're going to be doing a how to ride motorcycle video. We're going to be going through some twisties right now. And what I would like to show you here, on the right is the throttle, and then this is the front brake, and then on the left over here is the clutch lever. We're going to put that clutch lever in every time we go to shift. And basically what you do is you pull the clutch lever in right here on the left. I kick down here on the left into gear, then I slowly give it throttle while releasing the clutch lever. First gear, if you're new, first gear is the hardest, okay? It's not very difficult, but compared to the other gears, it's the hardest because it gets the bike moving, and that's what tends to stall it. So clutch in, kick down, we're in first. I hold the clutch lever in, slowly give it throttle while letting the left clutch lever out. Now watch this, we're still in first. Watch what happens. Release throttle on my right, pull the clutch lever in, kick up on the, hold on, I gotta get ahead of this guy, otherwise. So what you're gonna do, here's the sequence. Release throttle. This guy is really going fast. On the right, pull clutch lever on the left. You're always releasing throttle in between shifts, right? So release throttle on the right, pull clutch lever in on the left, that's the second step. Kick into the gear you want, release the clutch lever. Now, we're in second, right? So, notice we're staying in second gear. Some bikes are different. The R1, we're on an R1. If you can ride this bike, you could ride anything. This is like a street legal racing bike, like right out of the factory. So we're in second. Notice, if I want to go up to third, watch what's going to happen. Release throttle, pull the clutch lever in, kick up to third, release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. It's real easy once you get going. You do not want to put the front brake on while going around corners. What you want to do is never approach the corner faster than you can take it, which I know that sounds stupid because it's common sense, but you've got to realize that rule. Never approach the corner faster than you can take it. So if you have to brake, if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going too fast, use the rear brake as you're going straight. If you keep putting that rear brake on as you're going around a corner, trail braking, it takes some skill to do that, but if you do that, you can crash. So if you ever watch like Valentino Rossi, this is a Valentino Rossi themed motorcycle. On the front here, if you can see it, it says the Doctor. What he does, he goes really fast towards the corner, he brakes before the corner, and then slowly goes through it. That makes more sense, right? So, another thing is you're going to need to learn counter steering. Counter steering basically is you're moving the handlebars in the opposite direction you're turning. Now what I want you to do is watch this corner. I'm going to push forward on the right and pull back towards me on the left on 3. I want to show you. We're going to go watch that yellow line. 1, 2, 3. See how it does that? You hold pressure there to push it through the corner. Now, don't freak out about counter steering. You can practice it. I pull back on the right, it goes to the left. I pull back on the left, notice I'm going to the right. You can practice it while you're going straight. Now here's the corner. I'm going to pull back on the left and kind of hold it there and see how you take the corner. You don't just lean. These corners, they're not leanable corners, a lot of them. Like right here, I'm pulling back on the right. What you do is you see these guys on YouTube. I strongly suggest going to Moto Madness, M-O-T-O, and then the word madness. You'll see some of my videos there. A couple of them made it to that site. Excellent site. And they show motorcycle crashes there. Not to, because we're happy that our brothers on motorcycles crash, but so that you can learn from our stupid mistakes. Now, I haven't crashed yet. I've never crashed yet, but I say yet because I always want that fear and cautiousness to be there. So, when you're counter steering, some bikes you're going to have to apply more counter steering than others. Some, I had a Katana once, And that one I really had to apply Suzuki Katana. It was a big heavy bike. I really had to apply counter steering. You get it like a Ninja 400, excellent bike for the twisties. The new Ninja 400 2019, excellent bike for the twisties. You can lean a lot with that one. That one is just so flickable. So we're going to talk to you about braking also. But while we're waiting to do that, if you look at my fingers, imagine each finger is a rung on the ladder. This is first gear, my pinky. Neutral is in between, like my middle finger here is second gear. But neutral's right here, right? So you have first, neutral, second. That's how most bikes are. So if I'm in second and I'm coming slowly up to a light, I can slightly tap down to second and the neutral light will go on. I'll see if I can show that to you. So when you're shifting, you can't go from first to fourth, like on a car. You know how you can just move it there? You're going to pass through those gears. Now, I know some people would say, yeah, you can go through there. You just kick up 2 times. Well, yeah, but I mean, you have to shift through each gear. So we're going to downshift. When you're going through the twisties, it's good to keep that motor tight. What do I mean by that? Don't be in such a high gear where you're kind of like coasting, unless you're going downhill, you know, but when you're going through the twisties, I like to have that motor tight. Why? Because, watch this, I can go like this, and I release the throttle when I'm going to the corner if I need to slow down, and it slows the bike down for me. So you're right there on the cusp of that, where you're able to keep that engine tight and control the bike better. If you're coasting real fast in a higher gear and you release the throttle, you're just going to keep coasting because you don't have that engine braking. So here's some more counter steering here. So let's get on it a little bit. Watch what we're going to do on 2. Pull back on the left. 1, 2. See that? And it counter steers. Braking, when you're going to brake, you're coming to a stop sign or stoplight, keep the handlebar straight. That is so important. That's one of the most important rules that you need to learn. Counter steering and braking, very, very important. Shifting, you can kind of get away with messing up a little bit like that when you're new. I mean, you might just stall the bike or something like that. But braking, very, very important. A lot of guys crash braking. They'll go around a corner, for example, and they'll put the front brake on. You know how you can go around a corner in a car and put the brake on? What's the big diff? What's the diff? Well, the difference is you got 4 patches of rubber on a car. On the motorcycle, you got 2 little tiny patches of rubber, plus you're going at speed. Plus, and by the way, we're going to turn right here. We haven't had to brake yet, but now what I'll do here, I'll just downshift, I'm not braking, and then I'll go outside, and then I pull it on the inside here like that. But back to the braking, you do not want to put the front brake on going around a corner. These bikes are very sensitive to how you brake. Now, if you have anti-lock brakes, a lot of these new bikes coming out, the Ninja and the Kawasaki 400, they'll have anti-lock brakes, so it's a little more forgiving. If you're braking it, it'll help you not go into a slide or lock them up. But when you go to Moto Madness, you'll see a lot of these guys going around the corner, and then what they'll do is they'll just notice that they're going too fast around the corner, and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, and they're panicking. And I mean, they're in between a rock and a hard place. They can't just fly off into the ditch, right, at a fast speed. So they're forced now, because they approached it too fast, they're forced to put that front brake on, and when they do, down they go. Like if I put the front brake on right now, chances are I'm just going to fall because I got that little patch of rubber. Now, I'm putting the front brake on, but that back wheel's still pushing the bike forward, and thus you lose that little traction that you have. So please, never put the front brake on while you're going around a corner. And when you're coming to and even the rear brake, by the way, that's only for experienced riders where you can trail brake, but you shouldn't be doing that. You notice I haven't had to brake throughout any of these corners. Keep that engine tight, and it'll help to slow you down just by you take your hand off the throttle. Now, keep the handlebar straight when you stop. Don't lazily or sloppily kind of have the handlebar to the left or to the right when you stop, because all the weight is going to shift and it's going to go towards one side or the other, and then your leg, you're going to try to hold it up, and sometimes there's oil on the road. It's just bad news, and then you fall over. So now I'm braking with the front brake, downshifting. Now I let go of the front brake, see, because I'm going around the corner. Now, when you're going downhill, just, you know, you can do it the way you want, but I'm just telling you how I roll. When you're going downhill and it's just straight, you're not going to be going around corners, but you want to get good speed, then you can upshift the gear. This has 6 gears. So then you can go ahead and upshift and go all the way up to 6th gear or whatnot. So we have a little braking episode coming up here where I'm going to brake for you, and then we'll end the video. So you get the shifting, right? Release throttle, pull the clutch lever in, kick down into first, slowly start giving it throttle. Not all the way, just a little to where you see the needle going up a bit. You just watch that needle, and then slowly keep giving it throttle as you slowly let the clutch out, and then you lift your legs up. Excuse me. And then to go into second, release the throttle, pull the clutch lever in, and then just kick up to second. You know, first gear is the hardest. Now watch this. Downshifting, as I'm coming to a stop. Downshift. Now I have the front brake on and the rear brake. Now I have it in neutral. See that light right here? I kick down from second into neutral. So what I'm going to do is keep the handlebar straight. Notice both feet are down, and you hold yourself with, you know, just the front brake, so both feet can be down. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and look below this video for more motorcycle videos I do on other motorcycles. Have a great week, and God bless.